We ever had public comment in a police committee meeting?
I'm sure they have.
Just when Dan pulled over the wrong person.
Forgot a warrant for the wrong person,
We're live.
AKA the library.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
put
that was
public
right.
comment on that.
Call the meeting to order, 6:31. Roll call. Dick.
Here.
Miller.
Here.
Craig. Here. All right, any public comments? Yep. None. We got a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Carries. Items of business, June 2025 police report. Dan.
All right, so last month was a little slower. I had to take some vacation time off, so there's 10 reports. The one truancy, even though school is not in right now, dealing with a young lady who's now turned 16 and hasn't completed the 8th grade. So I forwarded that to prosecutor's office, which then has to send it to probate court. Because this young lady decides to bounce back and forth from relatives from here and up to Beulah, Michigan. So she keeps getting out of school. So we're gonna try to get her back in school. Felony warrant arrest have to be on that same person's brother who happened to be visiting. So, yeah. One noise violation complaint, this is involving kind of a dispute between two neighbors, but the one neighbor keeps driving motorcycles to the back of the property and zooming back forward again, so taking steps on issuing some citations to the one resident, because even though it's a civil infraction, which I'm supposed to witness, it's got a security camera. So our city attorney said good enough, so he'll be getting some citations. Last month, total traffic stops, only 18 were down. 6 tickets were issued, 12 warnings. Ordinance violations were up.
It's
The grass and abandoned vehicles, so.
Abandoned vehicle just means they're not registered.
Yeah, they're inoperable, unregistered, flat tires, that type of thing.
Why does it show one ordinance violation on the front page?
And that is for another issue.
Okay, separately.
So that's, yeah, that's reference to grass and a tree down over on Grant Street. That lot sold to a company out of state that wasn't getting mowed. So we were actually able to track down who purchased it. So this company from DeKalb, Illinois had purchased it, so. Finally got with them and they got Twin Oaks to mow it. And just after a mowed, large tree came down on the lot, so now they gotta take care of that, so.
So with the ordinance violations, are those complaints or just
That's
you
a,
notice them?
it'd be a complaint report, but those are we take a report on it just to document everything, but usually it's something I see. And kind of take proactive measures on that.
How tall does,
Oh, go ahead.
Good,
how tall does the grass have to be a complaint?
over 8 inches,
Okay.
8 inches or high.
Does the backyard count?
Yeah,
Fenced in backyard?
yes, so. Back here
It's
are supposed to count.
You could-
Although some prefer just to do the front yard.
Yeah, I've noticed the brown house on West Street. Got the 5 years got part of it,
Oh, yeah,
like hasn't mowed his backyard since this moved in for some reason.
yeah. So, yeah, it's, a lot of it's curb appeal, so that's why they do the front, but yeah, there's a few of them like that.
So do you monitor city property too?
Not so much. I figured that's DPW's problem. So. Did 2 bus escorts for the girls softball team. For their wins, basically, we just kind of ran them through town with the lights and sirens. Yahoo, so. Did have a meeting with Magnet reference to a possible drug house in the city. So they got all the information of the 6 people living there, and we'll see if anything comes of it. Problem is sitting in the city here, it doesn't take long for somebody to call and say, hey, there's a suspicious car on my street, so. It is what it is, but we'll see what they can come up with. Did attend a meeting with the 100 Club of Genesee, Lapeer, and Shiawassee counties, and what that is an organization that's made up of sponsors and police, fire, and EMS, for any of those injured or killed in the line of duty. And they provide money to the families for that, so. Attended that, then the big one there, attended the training for the North American Active Violence Conference training involving police, fire, and EMS. And those are the situations that were discussed this year at the conference. And so we start from the beginning, what was good, what was bad, what needs to be improved. Also like Route 91, they also involved doctors and nurses from the hospital this time as to what went good, what went bad, and especially when you have 869 injured show up. Luckily, they have like 4 hospitals. You know, in our area, if we have a event, our hospital's not going to be able to really do a whole lot because they're a trauma 3 center. And most of ours would probably have to go to a trauma 1, which is either going to be Lansing, Flint, Saginaw, which means that we're also going to have helicopters involved. So that's part of that active shooter plan that we have in place here. And most of that came from Ingham County when they had the MSU shooting. And I think that was in your packet that one time, and that also involved the family assistance centers and all that, so. But it was interesting on some of these, and I thought especially the New Orleans vehicle attack. And people wonder why we put up our cement barricades. That's exactly why. So. And
So do you address like issues like, let's just say we had a fatality or something like that here? What do you do for your officers that's preparing them or helping them?
So there's a organization out of Lansing Fire Department. After that roadman was killed, they put together a group for mental health. And they actually do come out here. The last fatal that they had up on M21, they came and helped the deputies and the dispatchers and stuff like that. So Justin Conklin was involved with that. So we would get them involved. And depending on the situation, say if we have an officer involved shooting, that officer actually has to go see a psychologist before they can come back to work. So we kind of do that. The one interesting one down here, Lewiston, Maine, that was an active shooter at 2 locations, same shooter. Started at a bowling alley, then drove across town, and then shot up a bar. So a lot of that curtailed about, you know, taxing all your resources. Yeah, eventually you wind up with 200 or 300 police, fire, and EMS here, but it's going to take a while. So, and then the biggest problem too is then communications. There's a lot of times people coming in don't have our channel. There is a state event channel, and that's why they tell us if we have a major event, you have to get a hold of the state police right away, because they still, even their fastest is going to take 30 to 45 minutes to get a state event channel up and running. So it's almost like an act of Congress still. You would think it'd be pretty simple, but a lot of red tape involved. So then everybody that does show up, we can put them on different event channels. And there's something like 36 different state event channels. And one nice thing about that is the state can regulate how far that area is able to transmit. So that Scanner World and everybody else really can't get it if they're not in the area. Other than that. We're just plugging away. I guess the big next event will be the Pancake Breakfast Car Show.
And then the last Saturday, right?
Yeah, I think it's the 26th of July. Yep.
Did we do anything with the social district? Was that up and running? Is it?
Oh, that's Kim's baby.
The all knowledgeable of the social district. We're gonna kind of promote it for summer fest, which is pancake breakfast.
But I mean, it wasn't really active during carnival.
No,
We didn't, it's active right now, like it's,
I didn't get up and running by
Okay.
then.
but we aren't. Yeah,
Just wonder if it's good, bad, or
yeah, everything's in place. We're in the process of getting signs ready and. So we're gonna probably do that by the week before the summer fest and then do the kickoff of the social district that week.
And there was a question about why is there a big black cement block between the two outdoor seating areas? That's because alcohol can't flow back and forth. Separate liquor licenses, so that's why that's up there. And once you tell the general public, they understand that. But there are originally some questions of why is that? Why can't I go from one to the next? And that also involves the same thing kind of when the social district's up and running, so.
And I think with the social district for the summer fest, all those will be moved, right? So all the tables.
Supposed to
will-
be.
Yeah, so that'll all be moved, the cars will move out and then the tables will be put in the street.
Mhm.
That'll be all social district, because the street will be closed, so. The social district will be the streets too.
Correct.
So any other time, it's just the sidewalks, not those.
Correct. Yeah. So,
Nope.
no, that'll cover it.
Right. I make a motion to close the meeting.
Yep.
Meeting. Meeting adjourned.
Then I'll have.
Computer with it in there. Or did you mind end it?
Oh, no.
No, don't have it anymore.
Sure Kim does, but I
Give them something.
Kept thinking I need to get a hold of you and never did.